What sounds do the top guitarists really like? That's one question most of you seem to want to know. Here's the answer from 6 leading instrumental stars. I use a Gibson stereo through 2 Fender Shellman amplifiers, and I've also got a Rickenbacker 12-string which originally belonged to one of the Byrds. It's custom built, wired for stereo, and has an attachment which enables me to control the fuzz actually from the guitar. I've gone off fuzz just recently, but it'll prove handy if I start to use it again. I think reverb and echo are on the way back. You want something that stands out above the earthy sound. I can't really say which sound I prefer because all our numbers are different, and therefore call for different treatments and sounds. One thing I'm going to do soon is to start using a Fender Stratocaster. Apart from being a great instrument, it's about the toughest guitar there is. As I can't stand a thin, weak sound, I use a lot of bass when I'm playing. Both on stage and in the studio. I think it fills the sound out more, and also blends with what Jack Bruce is playing. It's far better than having 2 completely different sounds going at once, especially when there are only 3 of you. My stage setup consists of a Marshall 100-watt amplifier with 2 sets of 4x12 speakers. It's a perfect match for my Gibson Les Paul. You've probably heard about me taking the covers of my pickups. This is something I would definitely recommend for any guitarist. The improvement sound-wise is unbelievable. Can't say I like to use a fuzz box. I prefer to rely on the quality of my pickups. You don't need fuzz unless your pickups are bad or if you're using a treble sound and the sound needs filling out. People very often slate us for being too loud, but we never go on stage without getting a good balance first, at least not unless we can help it. I'm afraid there's not an amplifier on the market that's suitable for me. I've tried just about everything there is to try, but haven't found exactly what I'm looking for. I've had this offer of a brand new Vox setup, so I'll see what that's like. People laugh when they hear that I'm using 3 complete Beatle amps and speakers on stage, but I truly need them. I like a good chunky rhythm sound which can be turned into a powerful winning lead sound when required. Why do I use a lot of power? It's more for quality than volume. You feel better when you know you've got a lot of power behind you, even if you aren't using it all. I'm still using the Gibson Les Paul that I smashed some time ago. It's nearly as good as new now. Well, almost. It's one of those instruments you feel a part of. It's not just a guitar. I go for the clangy, chordy sound, as I don't play that many solos. It's ideal for our type of act. I've got a Marshall 200-watt amp with 2 speakers. Ronnie's got the same, and so we each have 1 speaker on each side of the stage. This distribution is much better because everyone can hear both bass and lead at the same time. If we didn't have an organ, then my sound would more or less blend with Ronnie's, but as it is, you need something to keep above the rest. Because there are only 3 of us actually playing instruments, I have to use a lot of chunky chord work to fill out the sound. The setup I use is pretty complicated, but works just fine. I put my Gretsch Country Gent through a fuzz box which is coupled to 2 AC 30 units. These are looped over to an AC 100 amplifier which is also connected to 2 AC 30 speaker cabinets. The whole unit was made by Vox. I must admit that it takes up quite a bit of room on stage, but it does help recreate the Trog's record sound. I also use this setup in the Olympic Sound Studios when we're recording. This way, the sound on stage is exactly the same as the one we get in the studio. The type of guitarists I prefer are people like Clapton and Jeff Beck. They're original and make their own contributions to today's scene. But I still love the classics and Segovia, and I think I'll probably go back to that style of playing when my Trogs days are over. At least it'll save me carrying so much gear around. Nowadays I play my Gibson stereo a great deal, but I'll start using the Rickenbacker 12-string I bought in the States very soon. I don't believe in padding out all my lead passages with wild string slurring, but I try to play as many notes as possible in the most exciting way. I love a good thick chunky sound. I've never really gone in for all this whining guitar stuff, and it mustn't be too bassy either. Somewhere just in the middle. That's one of the reasons why we like the new Vox solid-state amps.